I was having a conversation with my friend not so long ago about things which are British and things which aren't British. I kind of came to the conclusion that if you trace something back far enough, whatever's British turns out to be quote-unquote foreign. And it just kind of undoes a lot of like right-wing racist ideology, I think, because at the end of the day, you know, the whole us and them thing doesn't really work when a lot of the us is made up of them. But anyway, I've compiled this little ditty in honour of that conversation. And it goes a little bit something like this. It's called the BNP Anthem. St. George is not a friend of mine. He came over here from Palestine. An immigrant, and that's a fact. Ship the fucking bastard back. I do not care for the dear old queen. Our family are from Germany, and statesy to her every whim. Let's set fire to her bin. And foreign food, you're having a laugh. I don't eat shit like pie and mash. Imported here from ancient Greece. I wouldn't let it pass me teeth. So let's make Britain ours again, without all of the foreigners in. Let's take back our country's theft, until there's only us lot left. Oh! Great! Thank you very much. That was the Clapping Back Orchestra there. They're on tour later on in the month, heading around the country. You'd think it would be different without the vocals, but it's so much more intense, just the clapping. Well, from silly views about the world, I'm going to move on to kind of an idea about forgetting the world, escapism. I think like escapism comes in many forms, and there's like healthy escapism, like meditation, which I know a lot of my friends do, and there's unhealthy escapism, you know, and the one that comes to mind so obviously is drugs. You hear it so much in the papers, you know, drugs, they're everywhere. But this is another poem about an unhealthy form of escapism. It's called the Opium Eaters. On Sunday night we do decide to forget our woes and watch TV. Down on the sofa there we sit, where our minds are full transfixed until we seem asleep. Unblinking eyes reveal our state, somewhere between sleep and wake. Vacant we stare at the gamma box, isolated by walls of colour alone. So much the conversation chokes to stop. It feels as if Medusa made it stone. But oh, to me is broadcast directly all the glory and splendour of Xanadu, and the fearsome power of the savage Kubla Khan, who, when he's not killing in the name of his dad, turns out to be quite sensitive too, and gets into a rather raunchy affair and a historical drama that's on demand. I flick from images of incense-bearing trees and birds of paradise living in harmony, to ancestral voices coming from the young who smash glass windows and denounce immigration. I can pause the moment a lover is murdered, lay aside an hour to consider it further, rewind and replay the most side-splitting comedy, and relive the sensation repeatedly. Every new experience is fully provided. I choose each one whenever I like, learn about the reality of others' lives, though I know somehow that it's all one-sided. Much more than the tears, fears, joy, fun, the succession of pictures leaves me comfortably numb. An advert boasts that a pleasure dome has been built, full of all my favourite makes and brands, and with buy now pay nothing, there's no need for guilt. There's also restaurants and food stands, so why not come down and have some fun at the Metro Centre just off the A1? I've tried to turn it off, you know, when I'm reading on my own, or when I'm trying to get to sleep. But pure silence makes me itchy, and I slip back to the static zone. But it's a shame sometimes, I think, about all of our wasted youth. If we even switch it off to blink, I wonder what we would produce. I proclaim an ode to the open mind, from the African heat to the Arctic ice, and all who passed would hear me there. And all should cry, beware, beware, his unbrushed teeth, his unwashed hair. Weave the cable round him thrice, and censor all your eyes with dread, for he on honeydew hath fed, and drunk the milk of paradise. Thank you. Cheers. You're a lovely audience tonight. Very nice. I was reading a really interesting book a while ago called Straw Dogs by John Gray. And it's kind of like philosophy, but it's not too full on, you know, it's kind of written in a language we can all understand. And he brings up a lot of points in the book, but the main one is that human beings are just animals. He says, you know, we're the most highly inventive, yet also the most highly destructive animal on the planet. And I completely see his point. And the poem was inspired by that book. It's called The Flint. What if technology can't make us different, only more efficient at living like monkeys? Suppose Facebook can't stop us grooming each other, or locks won't cease the marking of territory. What if reciting freedom before pulling the trigger doesn't change killer instinct? No. Strip away the layers of paint. We are prime apes, playing with sticks and stones, designing microchips and breaking bones. Thank you. I've got one more poem for you now before I hand you over to the wonderful Elaine. I think one of the reasons we see ourselves as being different from animals is like we're morals. And this kind of goes back to, you know, like biblical times and before, you know, the Bible says we are God's chosen creatures and we're embedded with a higher understanding of the world. But I think morals are like one person's right as another person's wrong, and morals differ from person to person. And this poem is inspired by my favourite track by a reggae artist called Junior Mervyn. It's called Police and Thieves. The sun becomes a radioactive Buddha in the sky. Tarmac is bubbling on the pavement like the La Brea pit. The police constable and the criminal mastermind take a deserved day off and flock into the park or resting in the shade of a silver birch. Over Twister iced lollies and chilled beer, they greet each other like estranged relatives. It is too hot to fight. It is too bright to move. How is the family? The constable asks. The family is fine, the criminal replies. How is the wife? The wife is into Zumba. The criminal brags. Last week, a friend of mine was out with his boys, took on some busies and won. Managed to burst one's nose while they were calling assistance. In the distance, the sound of children playing, getting tangled in the swings. You think that's bad? The policeman grins, with a glint of satisfaction, a diamond in his left eye. You should have seen what me and the lads got up to last night. Thanks very much. The marvelous Elaine.